Cities and settlements dating back 2,500 years have been discovered in Ecuador. Archaeologists using aerial laser scanning technology revealed the ruins of ancient cities and settlements in the Ecuadorian rainforest. Researchers determined that the cities were created about 2,500 years ago, and at their peak they could have been inhabited by up to 30,000 people. Archaeologists have been examining the archaeological site located in the eastern Andes in the Upano Valley for several decades. However, it was only when they began observing the landscape from above using LiDAR, light detection and ranging technology, that they noticed a vast network of long-forgotten settlements connected by wide, straight roads. The results and description of the research were published in the journal Science. In recent decades, exploration of the Amazon rainforest has helped reveal a series of cities and settlements with huge pyramids, plazas and platforms that were connected to each other by a dense network of roads. These discoveries prove conclusively that the Amazon was inhabited by large and complex communities long before the arrival of European colonizers. In new research, scientists have uncovered the remains of the oldest community ever inhabiting this area. The ruins of its cities and settlements were discovered in the Upano Valley in Ecuador. Made possible thanks to LiDAR technology. This is a measurement method that involves irradiating a target with a laser and recording the reflection using sensors. Differences in the return time of the reflected light beam and the change in wavelength are used to create three-dimensional terrain models. Thanks to this breakthrough technology, which has taken a high place among archaeologists' tools, it is possible to see the terrain without the top layer of vegetation. LiDAR penetrates the tree canopy and reflects three-dimensional forms of archaeological features hidden beneath the vegetation. Researchers can digitally remove trees, plants and even water from images, revealing hidden structures. LiDAR has already proven its usefulness. In 2018, using this technology, the ruins of over 60,000 houses, palaces and other structures that had been hidden from the sight of modern man for centuries were discovered in the Guatemalan jungle. Thanks to LiDAR, archaeologists also revealed the true size of the city of Angamuco, discovered a decade ago, with 40,000 buildings and others. Thanks to this technology, the oldest and largest Mayan building, hundreds of ceremonial complexes dating back thousands of years, and the ruins of 11 cities and settlements belonging to an unknown culture were also discovered. Scientists have determined that the newly discovered cities and settlements are at least 2,500 years old, more than 1,000 years older than any other known complex Amazonian society. It is the earliest and largest agrarian community in the Amazon. The discovery of an ancient urban network in the Upano Valley demonstrates the diversity of ancient Amazonian cultures that archaeologists are only beginning to reconstruct. I've explored this place many times, but LiDAR gave me a different view of this land, said lead author of the study Stefan Rostein from the French National Center for Scientific Research, Kinnes. I knew there were many mounds and many structures here, but I didn't have a complete overview of the region, he added. In the paper, Rostein and colleagues presented evidence of an agricultural civilization dating back more than 2,500 years ago in the Upano Valley in Ecuador. LiDAR data and findings from more than 20 years of interdisciplinary research in the area have described a large, advanced agricultural community. The area covered by the research was approximately 300 square kilometers. Scientists counted over 6,000 rectangular earth platforms and squares connected by paths and roads. They identified at least 15 separate towns or settlements of various sizes, connected by an extensive network of roads, the largest of which were 10 meters wide and stretched for 10 to 20 kilometers. Archaeologists also determined that the construction of platforms and roads took place between approximately 500 BC and 300 to 600 AD and was led by groups from the Quilomope and later Upano cultures. The sites in the Upano Valley are different from other monumental sites discovered in the Amazon, which are newer and less extensive. Such a discovery is another vivid example of the underestimation of the dual heritage of the Amazon: environmental, but also cultural and therefore indigenous. We believe it is extremely important to carefully review our preconceptions about the Amazonian world and, in doing so, reinterpret contexts and concepts, the study authors write in the publication. Although it is difficult to estimate the population of ancient cities, scientists indicate that the Upano Valley was inhabited by at least 10,000 people. Inhabitants, and in its heyday, perhaps even 15–30,000. This figure is comparable to the estimated population of London in Roman times, then Britain's largest city. Rostein began excavating the Upano Valley almost 30 years ago. His team then focused on two large settlements, named Sangay and Quilomope. He found there, among others, mounds organized around central squares, pottery decorated with paints and engravings, and large jugs containing the remains of chicha, an alcoholic drink made from corn. In 2015, Ecuador's National Institute of Cultural Heritage funded a LiDAR survey of the valley, which resulted in revealing topographic features invisible in the dense vegetation. Data collected by LiDAR allowed us to see the network of roads between cities and discover many previously unknown settlements. In total, researchers found 15 settlements and towns, 5 of which were large. Each town was densely filled with residential and ceremonial buildings. The settlements were interspersed with rectangular farmlands and surrounded by hillside terraces, which also grew crops including maize, cassava, and sweet potatoes. The largest city in this region, Quilomope, covers an area comparable in size to the Giza Plateau in Egypt. The authors claim that the extent of landscape modification in the Upano Valley rivals the «garden cities» of the classic Maya. And what has been discovered so far is just the tip of the iceberg of what can be found in the Ecuadorian Amazon. Finally succeeded. NASA has opened a capsule with samples from the asteroid Bennu. After several months of effort, NASA engineers finally managed to remove the last 2 fasteners to the sample container lid that were preventing access to most of the material collected from the asteroid Bennu by the OSIRIS-REx spacecraft. Last September, the OSIRIS-REx, origins, spectral interpretation, resource identification, security regolith explorer probe delivered a capsule containing samples taken from the asteroid Bennu to Earth. However, NASA specialists encountered an unexpected problem. They could not open the sample container because 2 elements securing its lid blocked it. The problem turned out to be 2 of the 35 elements securing the head of the TAGSAM, touch and go sample acquisition mechanism, which contains material from the asteroid. These elements simply got stuck. The specialists spent several months trying to fix the head cover, but nothing helped. The blockage could not be removed using cleanroom-approved tools. This is a big problem because the container had to be opened in pristine conditions so as not to contaminate the samples. You couldn't just take a saw and cut through the blockage. Only the development of completely new tools helped. Our engineers and scientists have worked tirelessly for months, not only processing more than 70 grams of material we previously had access to, but also designing, developing and testing new tools, Eileen Stansbury of NASA's Johnson Space Center said in a statement. The team's innovation and commitment were extraordinary. We are all excited to see the remaining treasure that OSIRIS-REx holds, she added. The new tools are made of a special type of surgical, non-magnetic stainless steel. It is the hardest metal approved for use in pristine glove boxes. Before the tools were used, they were first tested in a trial laboratory on less valuable items. In addition to the design challenge of limiting ourselves to approved materials to protect the scientific value of the asteroid sample, the new tools also had to perform in the confined space of the glove box, said OSIRIS-REx mission scientist Dr. Nicole Lunning. The team managed to collect approximately 70.3 grams of material from the asteroid Bennu before removing 2 obstructing pieces of the sampler's lid. Experts estimate that there are another 250 grams of valuable samples in the sampler. However, there will be several additional disassembly steps before the remaining samples can be photographed, extracted, weighed and processed. Tiny pieces scraped from the sampler's lid have already been sent around the world for analysis. Preliminary studies have shown that the samples have high carbon and water content, which together suggests that the building blocks of life on Earth may be found in this space rock. Further tests revealed that large amounts of magnesium, sodium and phosphorus were also found in the samples. The asteroid Bennu is believed to be over 4 billion years old, meaning it dates back to when our solar system was just forming. Analysis of the collected material can tell us about the conditions that prevailed during the formation of our planetary system. Bennu is a potentially dangerous asteroid. There is a probability, 1 in 2,700, that it will hit Earth in 2182. This is the highest probability of collision with our planet of all space objects known to us. Another cosmic megastructure has been discovered that defies our understanding of the universe. More than 9 billion light-years from Earth, astronomers spotted a gigantic structure about 1.3 billion light-years in diameter. The structure, called the Great Ring, is made up of galaxies and galaxy clusters and is so large that it challenges our understanding of the cosmos. The Great Ring is located 9.2 billion light-years from Earth. It has a diameter of about 1.3 billion light-years and a circumference of about 4 billion light-years. This makes it one of the largest structures in the universe. The structure was discovered by Alexia Lopez of the University of Central Lancashire, UCLan, in the UK, who spotted an even larger object called the Great Arch 2 years ago. Lopez presented her findings at the annual meeting of the American Astronomical Society. Based on current cosmological theories, we didn't think structures this large were possible, Lopez said. The size of the Big Ring seems to contradict the cosmological principle that the universe on a sufficiently large scale should be uniform and look similar in all directions. Lopez discovered the Big Ring in quasar data from the Sloan Digital Sky Survey. These extremely bright objects helped bring distant and hidden galaxies to light. After applying a special algorithm, a megastructure appeared. This discovery alone won't be enough to upend cosmology, but Lopez says astronomers can't ignore the implications of megastructures forever. The existence of these structures is still being swept under the rug, but the more we discover, we will have to face the fact that our standard model may need to be rethought, Lopez admitted. Lopez has discovered an even larger structure. In 2021, her research on a large-scale structure called the Great Arch was published. These are galaxies and clusters of galaxies that resemble a crescent or an arc from our perspective, and stretch for a distance of about 3.3 billion light-years. This structure is also located 9.2 billion light-years away, near the Great Ring. The distance between structures in the sky is only 12 degrees. We could expect to see perhaps one exceptionally large structure in our entire observable universe. However, the Great Ring and the Great Arc are two huge structures, cosmic neighbors. Which is extremely fascinating, Lopez admitted. Neither of these two very large structures can be easily explained in our current understanding of the universe. And their very large sizes, characteristic shapes and cosmological proximity must surely tell us something important, but what? He adds, the Great Ring and the Great Arc are by no means the first violation of a cosmological principle. There are more such objects. Cosmologists calculate the current theoretical size limit for the structures at 1.2 billion light-years. Even though both structures are much larger, the Great Arc is almost 3 times larger. And the circumference of the Great Ring is comparable to the length of the Great Arc, Lopez continues. This is the 7th large structure discovered in the universe. And it contradicts the idea that the cosmos is uniform at the vast, largest scales. If these structures are real, it certainly gives food for thought to cosmologists and the accepted thinking about the evolution of the universe over the years, said Robert Massey of the Royal Astronomical Society. Professor Don Pollico from the University of Warwick admitted that the probability of two large-scale structures existing next to each other is slim. According to him, both objects can be interconnected and create an even larger structure. Other large-scale structures discovered in the universe include the Great Sloan Wall, approximately 1.5 billion light-years long, and the South Pole Wall, which stretches 1.4 billion light-years. However, the largest megastructure identified by astronomers is the Great Wall of Hercules Corona North, which is about 10 billion light-years wide. One possibility is that the Big Ring may be associated with baryonic acoustic oscillations. They arise from oscillations in the early universe and should now appear, at least statistically, as spherical shells in galaxy systems. However, a detailed analysis of the Great Ring showed that it was not consistent with this theory, Lopez said. The concept itself assumes that when the primitive universe still existed, gravity and radiation contributed to the creation of sound waves called baryon acoustic oscillations, BAOs. At that stage of its existence, the universe was filled with hot, dense plasma. Gravitational forces and radiation pressure created bubbles, spherical acoustic waves, that moved through the plasma. About 380,000 years after the Big Bang, the universe has cooled enough that this process has stopped. The existing bubbles stopped and became, as it were, frozen, as areas with a higher density of forming matter. However, the universe did not remain static, but began to expand. And with it, also bubbles. Another explanation may be the effect of cosmic strings passing through the structure. In this concept, cosmic strings are topological defects in the structure of the universe of enormous size that could have arisen at the beginning of time. According to this, the defects mentioned would be responsible for the clustering of matter. LSD may promote brain plasticity by improving memory and cognitive function. Recent analysis has provided preliminary evidence that the psychedelic substance known as LSD may promote brain plasticity, or improve the ability of neural tissue to regenerate itself and form new connections. Studies have shown that this substance increased markers of neuroplasticity in human brain organoids, improved cognitive abilities in laboratory rats, and memory performance in humans. The topic of the potentially positive impact of psychedelics on our brain is controversial. However, research conducted over recent years has proven that some psychedelic substances in combination with psychotherapy have a beneficial effect on people suffering from depression and other disorders. A 2020 study showed that small doses of LSD can be an effective painkiller. 2 years earlier, another research team found that substances such as psilocybin, DMT and LSD change the structure of the brain in animals, increasing the ability of nerve cells to create new connections. Now researchers have proven that LSD can promote brain neuroplasticity. The description and results of the research were published in the journal, Experimental Neurology. This research was conducted by a neuroscientist, Professor Siddhartha Ribeiro from the Brazilian Federal University of Rio Grande do Norte, whose primary area of interest is the impact of sleep and dreaming on the neuroplasticity of our brain. He decided to become interested in various types of psychedelics because, as he recalls, their effect is a dreamlike state. He was interested in their potential impact on cognitive processes taking place in the brain. In his research, he focused primarily on a rather strong substance of this species, LSD. In order to test its potential effect on the brain, he first decided to use rats. They were divided into 2 groups. One of them was given LSD, the other a saline solution. After 4 days, they were all subjected to a novel object recognition test. It involved showing rats various types of objects. Some of them were already known to them, while others were completely new to them. During the test, the aim was to determine which objects the rats would show greater interest in. The logic of the test mentioned above is as follows: the better the memory and cognitive abilities, the more time the rat should spend examining previously unknown objects. And in fact it happened. Rodents treated with LSD actually behaved in this way. Studies using this psychedelic were also conducted on 25 healthy volunteers, some of whom had already had experience with LSD. Again, some people were given LSD, about 50 micrograms, while the rest were given a placebo. In the case of people, however, the task of visual spatial localization of 2D objects and the Ray-Osterrieth complex figure test were used, in which the subjects were asked to reproduce a complex figure presented to them in a drawing. Again, participants who had taken LSD in the days preceding the study performed better on the task. However, while observing the results was easy, investigating why this was happening was quite a challenge. Therefore, to check the effects of LSD at the cellular level, we looked at brain organoids. Organoids are 3-dimensional, miniature, simplified versions of organs created from stem cells that retain key anatomical features of real organs. They are an excellent subject for research. In this case, the researchers focused on human brain organoids, which correspond to the structure and functionality of the brain. It turned out that LSD affects metabolic pathways that are related to neuroplasticity. This includes, among others, a compound known as mTOR kinase, from mechanistic target of rapamycin. This is a key protein important in physiological processes, which is a specific center responsible for neuroplasticity, memory and learning.